It is November 10th, 2022, and we have here one very confused iris. No, it is not spring. What are you trying to tell me? You've got plenty of food. Hey, welcome back to Engineers Workshop, first week in November. So, working on getting internet to this building and to our farm. I had an appointment with Xfinity for December 10th, and when I went to look up that appointment, it says, reschedule. So what the heck, I looked and see what other times were available, and they had times ahead. So I actually picked this coming Sunday, which I think by the time this video goes out, it will be tomorrow, and that's when they're supposed to do the hookup to the building. So what I got to try to do between now and then, I've only got 3.5 days, is get some power over to where the internet is coming in, start to mount a 12U, basically a computer infrastructure panel. It's a wall mount panel, 19-inch racks. It's got some Ethernet ports and stuff like that. Going to mount that up high on the wall, as per suggestion of a trusted buddy of mine. And I'm going to try to pull that circuit now through the underground, the conduit that's in the slab. So please join me in prayer that this is pullable and that I can pull 3 THHN single conductors, solid core wire through that conduit, and we'll see what else we can get to. Maybe do a little bit more work on the second adapter bushing for the buck 4-jaw chuck. So let's go over and try to pull this wire. Okay, I have my 3 spools set up here, THHN single strand and solid core, I guess you'd call it. And I'm going to strip and attach all 3 to the fish tape. I'm going to stagger the joints. So I'm going to try to bring the diameter of this knot of cable up slowly. The shortest will be the ground. I don't want these coming off inside the conduit and losing 50 feet of each wire. Doesn't seem too bad. Now if I start taping at the back, and I think I work my way forward, that is a direction where the edges of the tape won't catch. All right, I've got it let in there. Let's see if it will continue. far so good. I'm just trying to wipe the slime off of the fish tape as it comes out. Maybe halfway with it. Haven't yet had to resort to putting a C-clamp on the fish tape. Check my spools. I think one of my spools might have hung up on something. Broken edge of the spool came around and hung things up. So success. Now I've got to pull out enough to reach to where I want the service. My system for securing the conduit is a small piece of the half-height unistrut and fastened through the edge of the girt. So got these nice little vinyl caps from McMaster Carr. Keeps you from gouging yourself on them. So I'm going to just basically eyeball the center of this, and I do 10-foot centers on the spacing of these. These purlins or girts rarely stay level. They get all tweaked. And this clamp is not tight at all. Wonder if I got the wrong size in here. Well, it appears I only have 1-inch pipe clamps, so I'm gonna have to put a little spacer behind these. Because I can't get it to draw up tight against the back side of the unistrut. That appears straight. That appears vertical. So now we'll step off 10 feet and put another one. I've got my run over on this side of the building done. down to an outlet, a double outlet. I've got some extra wire, and I'm going to go from those outlets up to the internet connection box. But believe it or not, I can pull this entire run back through under the slab. So I'm going to shorten those up about 18 inches by going back over here. And pulling back through. I'm just going to gauge this by eye. See if my old school way of taking from one to the other will work here. Go around the screws instead of using the back fittings there.
All those drunksters at the bar, I hate them all. All those drunksters at the bar, I hate them all. They don't care about my music, I can sing whatever I want. Drunksters at the bar, I hate them all. All those youngsters at the bar, I hate them all. All those youngsters at the bar, I hate them all. They don't care about my music, I can sing whatever I want. Youngsters at the bar, I hate them all. All those gangsters at the bar, I hate them all. All those gangsters at the bar, I hate them all. They don't care about my music, I can sing whatever I want. Gangsters at the bar, I hate them all. I just try to make a living, but no one seems to listen. I can sing about whatever I want. Well, I almost lost the lyrics, and I almost stopped to care. All those drunksters at the bar, I hate them all.
Okay, moment of truth will be to see if we have power over there. The circuit is live. I'm going to aim a light over there. And now I will take the extension cord over there. Well, at least I'm ready now for mounting the internet cabinet up there. I need to do a couple pieces of unistrut. And while I was up here fishing around with the last circuit, I found some 3/4 inch conduit clamps. So I'm going to replace the 1-inch ones I had on the far wall and add another piece of unistrut that end of the run to stabilize that vertical piece. Where it goes into the floor, there's like a broken off piece of, there's a coupling, but then there's a broken off piece of the pipe that came out of it, so I can't screw another adapter into it. What I'm going to do is clean it off with some carb cleaner and just put a bead of JB Weld around it to hold the two in place. Eventually, when I pour another floor slab on top of this, that'll all get encased anyway, so as long as I can keep it from moving for the time being, I'll be good. I wanted to show you that expansion of metal under temperature changes is a real phenomenon. Look at this. This thing was perfectly plumb. I did it when it was cold, and it warmed up now, and it is no longer vertical because of that long horizontal run growing. Nah, I'm just kidding. I screwed up the measurement somehow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick this leg coming out back a little bit and try to get that looking a little bit neater. Can't change it because the wires are inside. Better, needs a bit more, but I'm going to put the vertical bracket on first and then make a final tweak after I do that. This old house we live in has rosette blocks at the corners of the door casing, and a few of them got destroyed when we were stripping and reworking the trim. So I had a cutter made with a number 2 Morse taper shank, and I need to make a few more of these, so I'm going to do it with the K&T. Let's get set up and make a couple of rosettes, special extra thick ones for the dining room. To cut the rosettes, I had this cutter made. I sent them a sample rosette. They sectioned it, and then they make a single knife cutter, which is basically a form tool. It's a scraper that will scrape that profile into the blank. Number 2 Morse taper. So the first thing I have to do is take this extra thick blank, because yes, the rosettes I need to make are 2.5 inches thick, and cut 2 5 1/8 inch squares from this blank. Okay, time to fill this beautiful machine with sawdust. I've got it set for the finest feed. I don't know really what kind of feed I'm going to need for the wood. I might need to do it manually and peck at it, because once it's fully engaged, it will take quite a bit of power to cut that profile. Don't need to go too crazy holding this down. It is wood. Now basically what I'm just going to do is find the 2 edges and then step in half of 5 1/8, so 2 9/16. That's our dead center. I've not used this yet. This is the number 2 Morse taper adapter to ISO 30 taper, and I have to take my ER40 collet chuck out of this and instead use the number 2 Morse item. So I've not had those together yet. There's no reason they shouldn't go together. Everything was test fitted. That would also let me put a drill chuck into the K&T if I wanted to use it as a drill press. Oh crap, I forgot to put this inside. Just kidding. This one doesn't need to be assembled together because it just can load from the back. I have the K&T set for 21 RPM because it sounds good for wood. I think when I've run this on the drill press, it's about the speed I've run it. Pretty soon the outer wings will start to cut. That's when the power will really go up. Well, looks like it's doing what it's supposed to. Let's get the shop vac over here, see if we can suck up some of this dust. Not bad. Hey, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Didn't get any actual machining done, unless you call machining of wood a thing. But you don't know how excited I am just to have a stupid outlet on this side of the shop. Not because, you know, I need it over here so much, but everything that I ran came from the panel, and there were extension cords going across the floor. You know, trip hazard, I got to roll the pallet jack over them and move them. So this way, at least, everything that feeds the K&T, like the heaters for the Cincinnati tool and cutter grinder, the little, you know, lights, and for the joiner, can all come in from the back side. And that way, you know, at least they're out of the way. And started moving more of the Monarch parts. I'll tell you, shame on me, I'm going to show you these. I had all of these parts cleaned up, ready to go, and they've all got flash rust on them. This tailstock quill was stuck and it's rusted again. I've got to get all this stuff cleaned back up. Chip pan covers, the back cover. Some of this stuff you're not going to be able to see very well. But I've got the steady rest in here, the taper attachment, the compound. This compound was all ready to go. Vernier depth stop, all of it's got to be cleaned up. This was the stop rod for the the taper attachment in follower mode, and John Oder gave me that. That was clean. So man, I've got my work ahead of me to get all this stuff cleaned back up, but getting it out of that moisture pit over there against that wall, because there's some of the panels were rotted out, and that's what allowed so much moisture to get to these. So at least they'll be in the center of the shop, and hopefully I'll get them primed, and then they won't rust anymore. So thank you again. Internet coming Sunday. That's tomorrow if you're watching this on Saturday, and we'll see. I've got power ready for it. Got an uninterruptible power supply, 500 volt amp. Everything that I'm going to be plugging into it only draws, I think 24 watts. 24 watts total. It's a modem, a router, and a little AC adapter for the fiber converter. So, I mean, 24 watts, and that'll last, yeah, a couple hours, maybe 3 hours on that power supply. So, looking forward to that. Maybe next time we talk to you, we'll actually have 800 megabit internet here at this building. We can start laying that fiber over to the farm. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. There's so much more to do in this place. It's going to be a lifetime project to get this enclosed and beautiful inside, get it well lit. I'd like to get it lit like this all over. That's going to take at least 10 of those 300 watt panels, maybe 20. So we'll see. So thanks again. I'm going to call it a day for now. And as always, from Engineers Workshop, stay safe.